Welcome back, guys. This is Henry1502 Inc. I'm back and I'm here hitting the books. Look at that. Clep Test, U.S. History. Hold on. History of the United States, Part 2 from 1865 to present day. Check that out. So basically what I'm doing by reading this is I'm trying to skip this class by taking a test, by testing my way out of it. And this book is supposed to do it for me, and it's about 280 pages, give or take, and it's not that bad considering that about 200 pages, it has like 200 pages of reading, so it's not that bad. Compared to a 4-month class that you're going to have to pay full price, so anywhere from $300 and up, while I only have to take a test that would only cost me about $110 to $130, basically half the price of the class itself. And that's why I recommend Clep Test for people who want to get ahead in school or in life. Why take a class for 4 months and shove out full price for a single class when you can test out of it, especially for the introductory classes, which they're mainly for introductory classes. I can't speak. But yeah, I know Ivy League schools don't accept this, but most schools, they do accept it. Unfortunately for me, Ivy Leagues don't accept it, so I'm pretty much screwed. But I'm working on a way to get to. I'm working on a way to get to like a good school like Stanford or Harvard. Hopefully, I can transfer in, or I can apply and get into the graduate schools for computer science and or business, because I'm really into those. I have to say that this is actually harder than I thought. A lot of the stuff here, I know it's a college level class and test, but a lot of the stuff here, if you actually pay attention in like junior year or like sophomore year of high school, you should be able to, it won't be too hard for you, because some of the questions, most of the questions are basically a review from my junior year where I had U.S. history. And it's just, the problem was, I didn't really pay attention as much as I usually do in history, because I just got bored in it. But I did really good on the test, and for the final I did really good on, so I got a B. I got a B for pretty much every test I took in U.S. history except for 2, and those were C's. Terrible C's. C's don't get you anywhere in college. So yeah, this is harder than I thought. I'm actually going to have to read this. I'm doing the review tests right now, and basically I put a star next to every question that I am unsure of. And as you can see here, I'm unsure about a lot of questions. Pretty much most of it. The questions that are in this book, I've heard them before. It's just I can't remember it. It's been so long ago. But let's see. Number 29, question 29 of the practice test. Practice test 1, by the way. The Spanish-American War spurred the building of the Panama Canal by A, demonstrating the need to shift naval forces quickly from the Atlantic to the Pacific. B, demonstrating the ease with Latin American countries, which Latin American countries can be overcome by U.S. military forces. Okay. C, discrediting congressional opponents of the project. Okay. D, removing the threat that any possible canal could be blockaded by Spanish forces based in Cuba and Puerto Rico. Okay. And E, demonstrating that such tropical diseases as malaria and yellow fever could be controlled? I know the answer to this. I've gone over it before. This is a topic that I'm familiar with. It's a little shaky in my mind. I'm not as confident in that as I once was. But out of these answers, I'm just going to go with okay, so I know that a U.S. president wanted to build the canal in Panama, but the current Panamanian, I don't know what they're called, but Panama's government didn't want. They wanted it. They had both agreed on a fixed price, and then for some reason the government raises the price up, and the U.S. government doesn't like that. So there's a revolution or a civil war that breaks out in Panama. So basically, the U.S. is helping the rebels in order to achieve their economic goal. So you'll learn a lot that the United States does some really fucked up things that it's not. You're being taught to believe that it's about an ideology, and that you'll find out that that's bullshit most of the time. 90% of the time, when you hear that America is this shining light, it's bullshit mostly. Your minds have it's propaganda. There are more things to a topic than most people realize. So I'm just going to go with I have no idea. I haven't read the book. I just went straight to the back to test my knowledge so far. I'm going to go with A. Demonstrating the need to shift naval forces quickly from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Once again, I don't know if that's quite right. I'm going to go check in the back of the book to see if that is right. So, question 29. Whoa! I got it right. I got it right. Woo! Check this out. So 29, the Spanish-American Wars spurred the building of the Panama Canal by demonstrating the need to shift naval forces quickly from the Atlantic to the Pacific. So A. And this is why. A member of the social gospel movement would probably argue that Christians should work to reorganize the industrial system and bring about international peace. He would probably not be very concerned about such ordinary sins such as alcohol abuse and sexual permissiveness. Permissiveness, and then it has like a quotation A. Nor would he hold the poor at fault for their plight, B, or suggest that those who committed abuses simply lacked willpower, C. All this was society's fault. He did not see religion as an individual, but rather a social matter, D. So the only possible answer would be E. Go figure. Well, it turns out that I was reading the wrong thing the whole time. I was just really confused when I saw social gospel when I went over my video while I was editing. So check this out. I was doing number 27. I was reading number 27 when I should have been reading number 29. It had the Spanish-American War, and I was still right because it was A. But 29, The Spanish-American War showed the need of shifting naval forces rapidly between the Atlantic and Pacific. There had never been much doubt about overcoming Latin American countries if that was necessary, or of dealing with any highly unlikely threat from Spain. D. So that D should have been crossed out right then and there, because Spain was very unlikely that they would encounter a threat from Spain. The war did nothing to discredit the opponent of the project, so C. The war didn't really discredit anyone. And such tropical diseases as malaria and yellow fever were not dealt with successfully because a lot of their men died in the project until they found out that there was a net that could stop it. So it wasn't really successful. So you can cross off E, because malaria did kill a lot of people, and yellow fever, until during the actual building of the canal. So they didn't really figure out how to stop the malaria and the flu and the yellow fever until they actually started building it. So the only answer that would be correct is A. I got it right. Well, add, like, comment below. I hope you all learned something today. Pretty much I did. I'm going over this and it will probably take me a while, and hopefully I can take the test before January like 10th or something, because I have about 9 more tests to take. This is Henry1502 Inc. Like, add, comment below, subscribe, share. I'm out.